I'm AP Stedham from LA, Lower Alabama. This is AP As We See It, a syndicated weekly 1 hour show discussing the Southeastern Conference, college football, and keeping an eye on other sports as well. We'd like to welcome you to the show. This week we're going to discuss the future of SEC football, but before we get into that topic and other subjects, we want to thank our sponsors, Greer's Markets, 29 locations, Alabama, Florida, Mississippi. They have Lucy's Famous Recipes. They also have coloring contests for children. If you want to have things delivered to your home, your office, your venue, football family, and friends, you can click on Groceries to Go, and Greer's will deliver those delicious items and snacks and get yourself ready for your parties. And remember, basketball, SEC basketball is outstanding as well, so you're going to be having those parties, I know, in the coming weeks. But remember, Greer's got it. They guarantee it. We also like to thank Wind Creek Casino. There are 3 locations in Alabama, Atmore, Montgomery, and Wetumpka. You can partake in all the amenities. You could be a player. They have the spas, the movie theaters, the restaurants, and the gaming. So you can participate in all those things at the 3 locations across Alabama, Atmore, Montgomery, and Wetumpka. We'd also like to thank Robertsdale Dental Care, Dr. Jason Northcutt. Not only does Dr. Jason Northcutt offer basic full-service dental treatment, but Dr. Jason Northcutt has developed a niche within the practice where he provides comprehensive dental implant services such as single implants, bone grafting, and full mouth reconstruction. Dr. Jason Northcutt has been highly trained in those disciplines to offer comfortable and long-lasting solutions to major dental problems. So come by and see Dr. Jason Northcutt and his staff at Robertsdale Dental Care, 251-947-3636. We'd also like to thank our great hosts in Dallas, Texas for the Cotton Bowl. We were fortunate to cover that game between the Texas Longhorns and the Ohio State Buckeyes. The Aloft Dallas Downtown, it's a Marriott Boutique hotel within walking distance to favorite attractions, JFK Museum, American Airlines Center, Reunion Tower, and Museum District. Work out at their 24-hour fitness center and follow up with a refreshing dip in their heated pool. Explore the city and return to the hotel's popular WXYZ bar to mingle over cocktails and savory bites. Call 214-761-0000 or visit www.aloftdallasdowntown.com. We especially want to thank Alex Cruz and his staff for their tremendous hospitality, and the accommodations were beautiful, and I love staying at that property in Dallas. So if you're in Big D, give the Aloft Dallas Downtown a shout out at 214-761-0000. Make your reservations. I know you'll be satisfied. I've stayed there many, many times, and as I said, it's a great location, and the people are wonderful at the Aloft Dallas Downtown. So let's move on to the show and our subject matter, the future of the SEC. But first, we want to just have a recap of the college football playoff game. I was able to be in Atlanta to cover that game between number 7, the University of Notre Dame Fighting Irish, and number 8, the Ohio State University Buckeyes. As I stated, I think in prior episodes, I thought Ohio State had too much on the offensive side. They have the best roster in the country, especially with their offense. They transfer quarterback Will Howard, Jeremiah Smith, the sensational wide receiver. Reminds me a lot of Julio Jones, a very big and physical, quiet team player, interested in one thing, winning. And he's devoted to bringing that championship to Ohio State and Columbus, and he did. He was tremendous all season. Just very difficult to guard. Chip Kelly, the offensive coordinator, ran plays specifically to get him the ball, and he made the most of his opportunities, and especially on that 3rd and 11 play when the game was in the balance still, and Ohio State held the lead, and Notre Dame was making the comeback. They went deep. It was a one-on-one situation. He made a move and got open, and Will Howard dropped a dime. It was a beautiful pass to run out the clock. But Ohio State, the title team this year from the Big Ten, this is the second year in a row. The SEC has not been in the championship game, but those the Ohio State offense with a good quarterback, the two running backs, the three receivers, very good tight end, and a revamped offensive line. To stop them for 60 minutes, very, very difficult, and no one did, and they dominated that college football playoff, defeating Tennessee by 25 points in Columbus, avenging that 1-point loss with an overwhelming victory over their league teammate, University of Oregon Ducks, and followed that up with a double-digit victory in Texas, defeating the University of Texas Longhorns. So salute to the Ohio State Buckeyes for winning the national championship. And the Big Ten, they set a record, I guess, according to some reports. The Associated Press poll, they had 3 teams in the top 5. Ohio State, of course, at number 1, Oregon and Penn State. So the Big Ten, they're on the brink of having some good years down the road. So the SEC, they've got some competition with that particular conference, and they're going to have to get better. And I think that one of the main things is with the fluid situation, the transfer portal, the NIL opportunities, these $1 million coaches in the SEC and around the country, they're going to have to earn their money. They're going to have to get their team to be consistent. And that means in the preparation from week to week, no more losses to the bottom half of your league or teams with one loss or one win, matter of fact, in your conference, or no wins in your conference and you're upset. That can't happen if you're expecting to make the college football playoffs. And we all thought, I believe, that was really the consensus, that the SEC would have 4 teams in the college football playoff. This is the first year with the 12 teams, and they came up short. 3 teams. And I would like to congratulate Indiana for making the playoffs. Some people disagreed, but they represented themselves well during the season. They beat a Michigan team that Ohio State, the national champion, couldn't beat at home in Columbus, and they had that loss 10 points to Notre Dame in the playoffs. So I congratulate Indiana for winning 11 games, and they never had 1-10 in the entire history of their program. So, but the SEC, the future of the SEC, they're going to have to be more consistent in their preparation from week to week. There's the flow of talent is now streaming to other teams. That's why these games are tight. You take a team like Vanderbilt, who we've discussed many, many times. They were able to defeat Alabama 40-35. They were able to take Texas to a 3-point game, 27-24 in Nashville, I think with a double overtime versus Missouri. So, and that's a team, Vanderbilt, who had 0 wins within the conference, ended up making the bowl and winning the bowl by defeating Georgia Tech out of the ACC. So the SEC, they're going to have to do much better during the season to try to get 4 teams in the 12-team college football playoff. That was a total surprise. I think the most surprising thing the SEC was, of course, some of the upsets. Also, that the SEC was eliminated in the playoffs by double-digit losses. Texas was defeated by the eventual national championship, the Ohio State Buckeyes. Georgia lost by double digits to Notre Dame. And, of course, Tennessee didn't have a chance up in Columbus, Ohio. They lost by 25. So that was, for me, when all is said and done, that's the biggest surprise. The SEC struggled in the college football playoffs. They're promoting themselves as the best conference, but they did not show very well when the games were played on the field and ended up losing by double digits. So the SEC, I know there's a lot of disappointment around this region with the SEC, but there's a chance. I mean, let's be honest about it, the situation. They have the teams in the final Associated Press poll: number 4, Texas, number 6, Georgia, number 9, Tennessee, number 11, Ole Miss, number 17, Alabama, number 19, South Carolina, Missouri at number 22. So that's 7 teams in the final Associated Press. So it wasn't a total collapse. It's just the fact that they didn't have good games in the college football playoffs, and you only had 3, and they were not in the championship game for the second year. A team from the Big Ten won the title. Michigan last year, University of Michigan Wolverines, and this year the Ohio State Buckeyes. But anyway, we're gonna discuss some of the things that make a good conference, And one of those is your non-conference games. So we've selected 22 non-conference games that we're going to discuss with you concerning the 16 teams in the SEC. And that's how you're going to make your reputation as a league, by defeating those non-conference teams from the other Power Four or teams, independent teams. Of course, Notre Dame is on some of these schedules as well. So we're going to be right back after a while, when we listen to these after we listen to these messages with AP as we see it. We'll be right back.